Well, good evening and welcome to the Bay Area Case Studies Virtual College Fair. As you know, this is an Explore session, so you may not know who is in this room yet, but you will in a moment. So we are excited to have you. If you have questions for any of our presenters, you can ask those at any time using the Q&A button to ask those questions. Your camera and your microphone are off, so we can't see you and we can't hear you. So the Q&A button is the only way to reach out to those presenters. There is one more set of sessions or two more sets of sessions after this, so certainly sign up for some additional options, and a recording will be available after the presentation if you want to go back and review anything that the presenters have said. So now, without any further ado, I want to tell you who you'll be hearing from today. Our session includes Northwestern University, Mount Holyoke College, Seton Hall University, Hamilton College, Elon University, and Gettysburg College. This is a 6x6, so each of these 6 schools will have 6 minutes to present. So let's get started with the Northwestern Wildcats.
Excellent. Welcome, everyone. So glad that you are here with us. I'm going to share my screen here and trust that my colleagues will tell me if something looks off, because even after a year of Zoom, it's still a bit of an adventure. I'm thrilled to share a little bit about Northwestern just briefly with you tonight. If you are new to Northwestern, we are a community of about 8,000 undergraduate students located on our campus in Evanston, Illinois, which is just a couple miles north of the city of Chicago. Northwestern students join us from all over the world, all 50 states, many, many different countries. And when they come together on our campus and we think about why we value having a diverse student body, it's because they bring with them every imaginable background, identity, preference, belief system that you can name. And together, they form a really tightly knit, collaborative, engaged student community, and they really get to learn from one another. And I think no matter where you wind up in college, the lessons and the experiences that you learn about from your classmates will be just as meaningful to you as anything else. So that's what we try and foster at Northwestern. And we do that through a unique academic experience. So you may know of Northwestern as a research university. That is true. At our core, we are committed to having every student and staff and faculty on our campus supporting the mission of creating and contributing to the body of knowledge around us and to the fields in which we're invested. So we are a research university, and there are a lot of opportunities here for very technical and pre-professional study. We are also at our core a liberal arts college. So students come to Northwestern, some knowing exactly what they want to pursue and some having absolutely no idea what it is they want to study, and they are all welcome and celebrated here. So you're seeing 6 different shapes on the screen here. Those represent our 6 undergraduate schools, starting with the largest in the center, the College of Arts and Sciences. We also have 5 schools with a more specific or nuanced academic focus: the School of Journalism, the School of Communication, the School of Engineering, the School of Music, and the School of Education and Social Policy. And the hallmark of the Northwestern experience is that you are not limited to an experience in just one of these schools. The majority of Northwestern students pursue an interdisciplinary and very, very flexible academic plan where they are combining more than one major or minor area of study, and they are pursuing all of their interests within and among all 6 of these schools. So Northwestern is what I like to describe as a both and place. It's a place where you can get both the deep dive and the technical expertise that you want in journalism or engineering or harp performance, whatever it may be. And you don't have to sacrifice your other interests. You can come here and pursue those disparate majors and programs in a way that's exciting for you. And the way we do that is through our academic calendar called the quarter system. So many schools operate on a 2-semester model where you come and you take classes in the fall semester and again in the spring semester. Instead of having 2 sets of classes at Northwestern every school year, we have 3. 3 academic terms where you are taking 4 classes in each term for a total of 12 per year. Before you tune me out, I promise you that's a good thing. More classes doesn't always sound like it, but what this does is give you that flexibility that I've just described. So with 12 classes in an academic year, you have the opportunity to explore, to try new majors and programs that you've never considered before, to do your deep dive in your primary major of interest, and also pursue a second major and a set of electives that are of interest to you. You can sort of think of your time at Northwestern as being divided into thirds. About a third of your time will be devoted to a major. About a third of your time will be devoted to what we call our distribution requirements, which are a personalized and flexible opportunity for you to explore your interests in a range of different academic departments. And then the final third of classes is really yours to do with what you wish. Sometimes students will fill that final third in their schedule with elective courses or a second major, like I've mentioned. Many will also choose to fill that time with in-depth projects or experiences like undergraduate research or full-time internships. So what you're doing in the classroom at Northwestern is important. What you're doing outside the classroom to supplement that learning and prepare you for life after graduation is just as important. So you can read some of the statistics on the screen here about how we are supporting research and study abroad opportunities and internships. What I like to highlight here is the reality that these are not afterthoughts. These are not something that we only offer to graduate students, which I think is a myth I hear sometimes. These are undergraduate focused opportunities that are available to every single student on campus. And we know from various surveys and conversations with our undergraduates that the vast majority of students take advantage of these in-depth learning and experiential opportunities. And then the other big thing to know is that all of this that I'm describing, the academic flexibility and the opportunity to combine your interests and to do an internship in a field that's meaningful to you, that's happening in a really small, tightly knit environment. So Northwestern, as I said, has about 8,000 students. Across our 4,500 classes and 6 undergraduate schools, that works out to a really small and personalized academic experience. So if you are a numbers person and these are important figures to you, our student to faculty ratio on campus is 6 to 1, and the majority of students on our campus have the majority of classes on our campus, have fewer than 20 students in them. And then just very briefly, what I love the most about Northwestern is that outside of class, you can do what you love. We are a community that values our musicians as much as we value our athletes, as much as we value our activists. And many times students are doing all 3 at once. It's a place where you can pursue the path that's most meaningful to you and know that you will be celebrated as you do so. All designed to make sure that when you leave campus, you are getting a job in a field that is meaningful to you and is allowing you to continue the important work that you started while at Northwestern. That is a high 30,000 foot overview of what we offer here. Please feel free to connect with us or drop questions in the Q&A and we'll be happy to share a little bit more. Thanks so much for being here with us tonight. I will turn it over to my next colleague to share a bit more.
And our next school is Mount Holyoke College.
So hi, everyone. My name is Nicole Reynolds. I'm Director of Enrollment, Marketing, and Communications and Senior Associate Director of Admission at Mount Holyoke College. And I'm really excited to have this opportunity to introduce you to my alma mater. So Mount Holyoke is a private residential liberal arts college for women located on 700 stunning campus acres in Western Massachusetts. For those who aren't familiar with Western Mass, we're an area that's really rich in culture, in the arts, in varied outdoor activity, and in social justice activism. So our campus is about 90 minutes west of Boston and 3 hours from New York City. We've got a student body of 2,200 and 98% of them live on campus all 4 years. We are very, very proudly the first of the powerful 7 sister colleges. So founded at a time when there were no college options for women. And our founder acted on the conviction that women could and should do more than what society deemed our highest calling way back in 1837, which was being wives and mothers. Today, we're a far cry from 1837, and we're a gender diverse and affirming institution. What that means is we accept applications from females, from non-binary, and from trans students. But our mission now is the same as it was in 1837. We exist to empower the next generation of female leaders at Mount Holyoke. So let's talk a little bit about why a women's college. I'm sure that some of you are only in the early stages of considering a women's college, and maybe some of you are finding out that women's colleges exist right now and listening to me speak. Not a surprise. That's because fewer than 2% of women in the United States choose to attend a women's college. By virtue of that statistic, it's a bold and unconventional choice to make for higher education. But as alums, what's important to know is that 2% is a community of firsts, of pioneers, of leaders, and of innovators. And that's because at our institution, it's not about equal opportunity. It is about every opportunity to develop your leadership skills, to define your intellectual trajectory, and to craft a social life that is really truly grounded in personal choice and not in social norms. So we attract students who are seeking a front row learning experience, and we offer them an environment where they won't come up against preconceived notions about what they can or should do by virtue of their gender identity or by any other facet of their identity, quite frankly. We then provide them with the space and resources to develop their voice by speaking up and speaking out. So Emily Dickinson, you probably have heard of her. She benefited from Mount Holyoke's culture of empowerment. So too did Frances Perkins, who was the very first woman to ever serve in a presidential cabinet under FDR. And so too did Jean Sammet, who is the woman who developed the first widely used computer programming code in the United States. They're all graduates. In fact, graduates of women's colleges like Mount Holyoke claim entrepreneurial roles and positions of leadership at a statistically much higher rate than our peers who graduate from co-ed institutions. But you will not only see women at Mount Holyoke, and that's because in addition to the gender diversity that we host on campus, we also belong to what's known as the 5 College Consortium. This is a powerful partnership between us and 4 nearby schools, Amherst, Hampshire and Smith colleges, and the University of Massachusetts Amherst. We're all located within a 6-mile radius of one another. We're connected by the largest free bus system in the Northeast, so all of our campuses and towns. It means that over the course of a week, you might go hike the Seven Sister Mountain Range, catch a show at one of the area's many music or art venues. You might attend a seasonal festival on a town common, go enjoy freshly made ice cream at a nearby dairy farm, and that's all outside of the offerings on our campuses. On campus, what the 5 College Consortium means is really expanded academic, co-curricular, and social opportunities. So we can cross-register at courses at any of the institutions for no additional cost. There are 38,000 co-ed students in that 5 College Consortium, and we socialize across campuses in the context of parties, lectures, and events. And we can join clubs and organizations freely across campuses. So each of the 5 colleges has their own personality. And if there's a set of sort of shared qualities that Mount Holyoke students possess, I would say that they're deeply, deeply intellectually curious first and foremost. They're students who are always asking why. They want to dig a little bit deeper into a topic or explore things from multiple angles. They are strong in their convictions, and those convictions are often pitched towards social justice issues at Mount Holyoke. And they're ambitious, independent thinkers who value community and uplift in addition to their independence. So that's a little bit about who we are. And because of that really neat constellation of qualities our students have, we trust them to carve their own paths, and we support those individual journeys through things like interdisciplinary courses, close faculty mentorship, academic rigor, and really rich experiential learning opportunities that let students put theory into practice over and over again in both professional and research settings before they ever leave our gates. So we have students conducting research and engaging in internships all over the world. So our students choose from 48 majors. The top 10 majors are there on the right-hand side of your screen. About a third of our students major in STEM, a third in humanities, a third in the social sciences. And we have a small student faculty ratio that means you get a lot of attention in the classroom and out of the classroom, no matter the major you choose. And the strength of our academics, I want to note, is really tied to the strength of our faculty and our class dynamics. We're really, really proud of both at Mount Holyoke. Our professors are dynamic teachers. They foster collaboration over competition in the classroom, and they're global scholars with active research agendas. We're very proud of our #1 faculty in the country per the 2021 Princeton Review. Couple of deadlines. We have a few application windows at Mount Holyoke. I know that's down the road for you, but students can apply early decision, 1, 2, or regular decision. And I'm the person who works with students from your area, so I welcome questions at any time, and I hope to see you in the future if what I said is of interest and you want to engage with us virtually. Thanks.
Thank you. Just as a reminder to our participants, if you do have questions for our presenters at any time, go ahead and drop those in the Q&A. And presenters, if you have anything you'd like to share, contact information, links to things on your website, certainly you can drop those in the chat for our participants. Next, I'd like to welcome Lisa Hansen from Seton Hall University.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. I'm Lisa Hansen. I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions for the West Coast region for Seton Hall University, and I'm actually based right here in the San Francisco Bay Area as well. So a little bit about Seton Hall, if you're not familiar, we're on the East Coast, just outside of New York City, only 14 miles away, 30-minute commute into the city, which is something our students love because they get the best of both worlds. We're in a nice suburban village called South Orange, New Jersey, and New York City's in our backyard. So they get to enjoy both atmospheres. We're a mid-sized university, just over 6,000 students, 45% male, 55% female, and 45% diversity rate for such a small university, quite diverse with students from all across the country and many different countries outside of the US. We are only an hour from Philly, mountains and beaches, and all sorts of fun stuff. So what's really great about Seton Hall is that we're small enough to be a very supportive and nurturing environment, but we also do offer the benefits of a very large research university as well. We have been ranked, these are some of the impressive statistics that we like to tell about Seton Hall. We've been ranked #1 in the country for our business leadership program now for the past 5 years in a row. We also have a very excellent employment rate across the board. Most of our students graduating from Seton Hall are employed almost 100% across the board within 6 months. We're among the top 25 universities in the nation with the highest paid graduates, and mid-career earnings are 50% higher than the national average. So Seton Hall offers over 90 different wonderful undergraduate degree programs. These are our 9 schools and colleges housed at Seton Hall, and I will focus on a few of these tonight. #1, our Stillman School of Business. We have been highly ranked in our business school, again, #1 leadership program, but also we have a mock trading room where students can learn to do trades as if they're on Wall Street. They can also become Bloomberg certified. We have a sports polling center where ESPN works directly with our students to conduct sports polls that are broadcast nationwide. And, oops, there we go. We also have some great dual degree opportunities as well. These are just a few. We have a partnership with the Stevens Institute of Technology, law programs, and medical sciences. I'll get into those now. Our partnership with Stevens Institute is located in Hoboken, New Jersey, excellent engineering institution. So we offer a 5-year degree program, a bachelor's and master's in 5 years for engineering, and then also artificial intelligence. We also have an excellent law school at Seton Hall. We offer dual degree programs for law as well. So for this, our students can choose an undergraduate degree in either business, diplomacy and international relations, political science, religion, or social work. And also our School of Health and Medical Sciences offers great opportunities for students to get through to those health professions much more quickly. We have a 5-year athletic training program, 6-year or 3+3 occupational therapy, physical therapy, physician assistant, and speech and language pathology. We also offer a bachelor's to MD program. So this is our newest program that we have partnership with the Hackensack Meridian Health Group, which is one of the largest and most well-known healthcare providers in New Jersey. So a little bit more about Seton Hall. Like I said, we are a very small, supportive community. Average student to faculty ratio is going to be 14:1. Amazing internship opportunities and all sorts of counseling support services as well. So a little bit more about our internships. Quite proud of this. We have been ranked #4 in the country for providing internships to students. So on average, 80 to 85% of our students will complete anywhere between 3 to 5 internships, sometimes even more, before they graduate from Seton Hall, hence the great employment rate. This is just a very small sampling of companies where our students have interned and gone on to get jobs and careers with. So excellent opportunities for students coming to Seton Hall to really start their career path and hit the ground running. We are the Pirates, so a little bit more that we offer for fun, over 150 different clubs and student organizations. We have 26 Greek organizations. We are also have a great performing arts center that performs both on campus and in our local performing arts center, South Orange Performing Arts Center. Seton Hall is also part of the Big East Division I athletics. We are most well known for our men's basketball team, but I have to give a shout out to our soccer team who just won the Big East a few days ago. So way to go, soccer team. We also have a great club and intramural sports if you're not going to play Division I. And we are very generous with our scholarships that we offer to students at Seton Hall. 98% of our students do receive aid, so we do our best to make it as affordable as possible for your students. This year we are test optional. We're going to stay test optional until right through 2026. So these are our deadlines coming up in the fall. Early action, we don't have early decision, and then regular decision. And then we are open. If you want to come visit us or your students want to come visit us, please do so. We are giving on-campus tours and information sessions daily, 2 times a day usually. If you can't make it to one in person, we do those same information sessions and tours virtually as well. And then this is my contact information again. I am located in the San Francisco Bay Area, so I'll likely be working directly with your students. Thanks so much.
And thank you. Our next presenter is from Hamilton College.
All right, hello everyone. I'm Nikki Barron. I'm an Associate Dean of Admission at Hamilton College, and I'm also a Hamilton College alum. Something that Hamilton College alumni and current students all share is that we love to gush about how much we enjoy Hamilton. So I could actually probably chat with you all day about Hamilton College. And so the challenge is containing my enthusiasm for Hamilton in the very short 6 minutes that we have together this evening. If you are looking at other small liberal arts colleges, it's possible that they're all starting to blur together. They might start to sound alike, they might start to look alike. But some of the ways that I think Hamilton is distinct is that we have a tremendous sense of community on campus among students, faculty, and staff, but also off campus among our alumni. Also, Hamilton is distinct because at Hamilton, you truly get a personalized experience. You get to make the experience what you want it to be, both academically and in terms of your out of classroom experiences. And I'll describe those a little bit more. But also at Hamilton, you will be fully supported in the process of discovery and in the process of exploration. So you really get to know yourself really well during your 4 years as a student at Hamilton. In terms of just the facts at Hamilton, we were founded in 1793 and chartered in 1812, making us the 3rd oldest college in New York State. We have roughly 1,850 students on campus, and we are in upstate New York, located in the quaint college town of Clinton, New York. We are about 4 hours from the major metropolitan areas of Boston, New York City, and Toronto. We really celebrate diversity in all of its forms at Hamilton, both in terms of geography, ethnicity, academic interests, extracurricular experiences, religious beliefs, sexual orientation. Students come to Hamilton really from all different backgrounds and all different perspectives and really contribute those to the really strong sense of community that we have at Hamilton. We do have a very strong sense of community, as I said, in part because we are entirely residential. 100% of our students live on campus for all 4 years. At Hamilton, we make a promise to every student, and that promise is made up of 3 components. For every Hamilton College student, we promise that you will get to study what you love. We promise that you will get to be who you are, and we promise that you will find your future. So to delve a little bit more deeply into each of those 3 promises, the first one being study what you love. We accomplish this through our open curriculum. At Hamilton, we have neither a core curriculum nor a set of distribution requirements, which is what most colleges and universities have. Instead, we have an open curriculum. This means that you're working really closely with a faculty advisor to design your own liberal arts college experience. The structure to our curriculum comes in the form of advising. So you and your advisor are regularly going to have conversations about the subject areas that interest you and the subject areas that don't interest you as much. And then your advisor will push you to take classes outside of your comfort zone and will ensure that you graduate from Hamilton with a really well-rounded liberal arts experience. But it means that every classroom you're sitting in at Hamilton, you are surrounded by other students who really want to be there because every student has chosen to take the class, rather than registering for classes merely to fulfill requirements. And so it creates a really dynamic and engaging classroom experience in all of our classrooms at Hamilton because of the open curriculum. At Hamilton, across the curriculum, we have a very strong emphasis on communication, both oral communication and written communication. Because whatever it is that you choose to do after you graduate, you will need to know how to communicate effectively. So just about every class you take at Hamilton, there will be both an oral and a written component to it. We really emphasize communication across our curriculum here. Students and professors work really closely, not only in advising, but also in terms of the classroom and the academic experience, but also out of class experiences. You are regularly going to see your professors outside the classroom in office hours, at different campus activities, different campus events, but also professors live so close to campus that they'll often invite their classes over to their houses for dinner. So you really have a personalized experience. You get to know your professors really well. About 75% of our classes have 19 or fewer students, and the student faculty ratio is about 9-to-1. Students and professors are also collaborating regularly together in the form of research, and research opportunities are available at Hamilton across the curriculum in every academic discipline. We also certainly will support any student who would like to study abroad, and we have a number of study abroad programs both internationally and domestically, and students can also choose a non-Hamilton study abroad program through another college or university, gaining Hamilton's approval ahead of time to make sure that academic work will transfer over. The second piece of the promise is be who you are. Outside the classroom, students are really involved in extracurricular activities at Hamilton, and students often come to Hamilton and explore new extracurricular experiences that before they came to college, they didn't realize that they were passionate about. Students get really involved in athletics at Hamilton. About 2/3 of our students compete in athletics at some level, whether that's the varsity level, the intramural level, or the club level. We are part of the NESCAC, which is the New England Small College Athletic Conference, made up of 11 colleges here in the Northeast, and we are Division III at our varsity sports level. We also have a very active arts program here at Hamilton, and you can very easily get involved in the arts, dance, music, theater, studio art, even if you aren't majoring in any of the arts. Certainly we have really strong academic departments in the arts, but you don't have to pursue art as your major or even take art classes in order to be able to pursue them as extracurricular activities. We also have more than 200 student clubs and organizations. Finally, find your future. We have a really strong career center that will guide you through the entire process of preparing for what's to come after Hamilton.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. Our next presenter is from Elon University.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mandy Corcoran. I'm the Regional Assistant Director for Admissions for Elon University, and I'm located in the San Francisco Bay Area, so right down here in Sunnyvale, California. So I am your rep. So let's talk about Elon. So Elon is located in Elon, North Carolina, right in the heart of North Carolina. We're within 45 minutes of two major airports, one in Greensboro, as well as one in Raleigh, which not only gives you great airport access and easy access over to the East Coast from the Bay Area, but also allows you to do some internships and have some internship opportunities that, while you're still a full-time student. As I mentioned, we are located in Elon, North Carolina, which is a true college town, and we are a suburb of the city of Burlington. And Burlington's where you're going to get your bigger box stores like Target and things like that. We have a 5-minute free shuttle that takes you from Elon over to Burlington. We are a mid-sized private liberal arts university with just under 6,300 undergraduates, and we really focus on co-curricular learning. So throughout our 4 different colleges, we have our, liberal arts within our College of Arts and Sciences, but also is where our STEM majors, engineering, and all of our health sciences, as well as our award-winning performing arts lie. We have our Love School of Business, which is a top 50 business program that focuses on strong programs in finance, accounting, and entrepreneurship. We have our School of Communications, which is known for its strengths in journalism, cinema and television arts, and sport management, as well as our School of Education that really focuses on getting our students in the classroom teaching in their first year. About 80% of our students do enroll at Elon as undecided. We don't require you to declare a major until sophomore year, but you have access to all of our different programs. And one of our students' favorite aspects of our curriculum is that you do not need to apply separately to each of our 4 schools. So if you want to take classes, you want to double major, minor, explore, you have access to all of our programs The only exception to that is our nursing program and our performing arts. So now that you have a grasp on our community, let's talk a little bit further about now that you have a grasp on our majors, let's talk a little bit further about our community. Community is something that we really build a strong foundation on here at Elon. You'll hear the word community every time you hear about Elon because we really believe in that. So again, we have an undergraduate population of just under 6,300 undergraduates. We have an out-of-state population of 80%, so you will not be the only student coming from out of state. And California is actually our number 10 state that we get students from, so you will not be alone there as well. We also have a West Coast student ambassador team to welcome you with that transition to help support that number 10 state for our students. We are a residential campus with students being required to live on campus the first 2 years. And 70% of our students actually live on campus all 4 years. So even though it's only required for 2 years, we do have space for you for all 4 years, and you can bring a car to campus. We have 8 residential neighborhoods that each kind of have a different theme or kind of personality, if you will, and that's why we call them neighborhoods. 5 of those are first-year neighborhoods. And you will never be bored at Elon with over 284 clubs and organizations, as well as our school-spirited 17 Division I sports on our campus. What really makes us unique at Elon and kind of helps us to, again, stand out amongst all the different liberal arts institutions is our kind of formula of our inside the classroom experience, which is small and intimate, with our outside the classroom experience that what equals really those outstanding outcomes. So what does our inside the classroom look like? We have an average class size of 20 students, a student to faculty ratio of 12:1, and 100% of our classes are taught by faculty, as well as all of our classes are capped at 33. So never large lecture courses, never taught by a teaching assistant. And this really allows our students and our faculty to lean into our philosophy of teaching through mentoring. So you are going to collect mentors at Elon. Everything from me being your first mentor, all the way through our faculty, additional staff, and again, those peer mentors that I've been talking about. Another thing that makes us unique and what kind of creates that outside the classroom experience is that all of our students are required to have experiential learning. So what does that look like at Elon? It's these 5 Elon experiences. Now, the experiences themselves are not unique to Elon. However, the fact that we require all of our students to complete 2 out of the 5 of these experiences is unique, and you have to complete those before you can graduate. So let's just walk through these really quick. So we have study abroad. We are the #1 4-year private university in the nation for study abroad. So if that is on your list, please keep Elon on your list. Our goal is for all of our students to be able to get that global citizenship piece and to be able to study abroad. 79% of our students do study abroad, and an additional will go 12% will go to one of our Study USA centers. 88% of our students are completing internships. 23% are creating doing one-on-one student-led mentored research. 87% participate in service learning, and 55% hold a significant leadership position across campus. All of these combine to create amazing outcomes. So 95% of our students are employed in graduate school, completing an internship or in a service organization like the Peace Corps. We're a Peace Corps prep program, and 92% of those are related to their career objectives. So again, you came to Elon, you explored all those different passions throughout all of our different schools. You found your passion, you were able to really put that together and pursue that post-graduation. Our application deadlines with early decision and early action, which is November 1st. Our regular decision is January 10th. We are testing optional for the next 3 years, so no stress about that. And I will be putting my information as well as our West Coast admissions website where you can look up and connect with some of those West Coast student ambassadors. So with that, I will hand it off to my next colleague.
Thanks so much, Mandy. Our next presenter is from Gettysburg College.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm the last of the evening before we open it up for Q&A. So really quick, I'm going to go ahead and put my information into the chat box. Included there is a inquiry card that you can fill out if you are interested in Gettysburg and learning more, so that you can get some emails from us. But I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that you can see a little bit more of Gettysburg College as well. All right, so my name is Lauren, like I said, and I'm a grad from the class of 2016, so a proud alumna and passionate about Gettysburg. And I am originally from the state of New Jersey, so I can speak fairly quickly. So I think I can fit a fair bit of info into our 6 minutes together. But a few things that you do really need to know about Gettysburg College if this is the first time that you are hearing about us. Like some other institutions that have already gone this evening, we are a school of the liberal arts and sciences. And as you can see on the map, we are located in South Central Pennsylvania. And I always like to start with location, especially when connecting with students who aren't originally from this area, because sometimes you think, what does South Central Pennsylvania really mean? Well, Gettysburg is a unique place because we are not only located in a historic world famous town, we have the benefit of being in a small town that's very community centric, where there's about 10,000 residents in our local borough, and Gettysburg College students then add about 2,600 students to that population. But we're not so far from major metropolitan areas either. So if you were to travel to Gettysburg, please know that the easiest airports to access from Gettysburg are in Baltimore and 2 airports in Washington, D.C. Gettysburg College does offer shuttle services for students who need transportation. And so we will make sure that not only do you get to the airport safely from campus, should you be going home, but when you arrive, you are also getting picked up by Gettysburg College staff as well, by our driving staff. So that really does make being able to get to and from campus very easily if you have to fly to us. And since those are major airports, you can usually get pretty good flights on Southwest or some other airlines as well. We are about 45 minutes south of our state capital. So for students that may have some interest in political science or other areas, there is often sometimes opportunities being in that state capital. And then for students who are also coming to the East Coast, please know that we're not far from other areas such as New York. At least once a year, we do sponsor a bus trip to New York to see something on Broadway and things of that nature. So there's also the opportunity to be closer to some other major metropolitan areas on the East Coast, but DC is our most frequented city and most utilized by our students, faculty, and other programs on our campus. As I mentioned, Gettysburg College has approximately 2,600 students from all around the country and all around the world. We represent over 40 states and 40 countries. So we really are a diverse community that has a lot to offer our students, situated in a pleasant small town environment, but we welcome 3 million visitors a year to Gettysburg. So it is not a sleepy small town. All the benefits of a walkable neighborhood with lots of restaurants and shops, but you also have the very condensed campus environment at Gettysburg, where you are on a quintessential college campus. We're also bordered by National Park on one side of campus. And so during this quarantine time, it really has been a lifesaver for our students to have all of that green space and to have that freedom to move about. We are a completely residential institution, and we do guarantee housing all 4 years for our students. And you kind of move your way up through the year, starting off in a first-year style dormitory building. But by the end, you are most likely in a senior apartment. Juniors and seniors typically live in apartments on our campus, which is why so many of our students plan to stay on campus. We're an active space. So while we do have students from the Mid-Atlantic and New England that are in driving range of Gettysburg, nearly no students leave on the weekend. So we really are not a suitcase school. Our students are involved in some of the 120 clubs and organizations that are on our campus, but they're also involved in some of our key co-curricular programs that I'll get to in a little bit. But please know we're a busy place. We're an active place with D3 athletics. We play as part of the Centennial Conference, so athletics are a big part of our campus community. But we also have a conservatory of music on our campus as well. And so just as we have star athletes, we also have star musicians. Academically speaking, we offer over 65 majors, minors, and programs. There's a lot for students to choose from. We do have a goal-oriented curriculum, but it is very flexible in that students really can complete their goals in any way that they see fit or that piques their interest. For our natural scientists, you will be encouraged to take at least one course more in the humanities, social sciences, and vice versa. So while we will ask you to stretch that box, we will also always accommodate you by offering something that does speak to your interest. Small class sizes, average about 17, biggest you'll ever see on campus about 35. Smallest probably will be in the single digits as early as your first year. A lot of our language courses do offer a lot of individual attention in that way. We are a completely undergraduate institution, so all of our courses are taught by faculty. We do not have graduate students on campus, which means we do not have TAs. Ultimately, what that means is that the opportunities on our campus are all for you. We do not have any graduate students soaking up research opportunities, internship opportunities, or more co-curricular involvements. So the opportunity to get involved as a leader, to get really deeply involved in the different organizations that you may be interested in at Gettysburg is all right there at your fingertips. The last thing I really do like to share are a couple of our key co-curricular programs that help distinguish us from maybe some other institutions when you're thinking small liberal arts schools of the East. So first and foremost is our Eisenhower Institute, and probably one of the biggest draws to Gettysburg College. And anecdotally, probably one of the biggest draws I see for some of our students from the West Coast, getting you closer to Washington, D.C. Our Eisenhower Institute is our hub for public policy on campus, and we have an office in D.C. Think of it as pre-professional programming that you can apply to be a part of as early as your first year and continue throughout your 4 years. Ultimately, students have opportunities to do fellowships that are funded by the government to do international research, so very cool opportunities. Our Center for Public Service is a very strong program that gives students a lot of opportunities to be involved locally and internationally. And last but not least, our Garthwaite Leadership Center is an opportunity for students to not only academically study leadership development, but then utilize those tools and practice them in their everyday life on campus and beyond to really pull together these themes of leadership as they transition from Gettysburg College to their professional careers. Last piece, Gettysburg College is a common application school and has been and will continue to be test optional. But that's everything for me. My info's in the chat box.
Thanks so much, Lauren. And I would at this time love to ask all of my presenters to turn their cameras and their microphones back on. We have just enough time for one round robin question. So now that you've learned about their institutions, I would love for them to share their wisdom and give all of our participants a piece of advice as it comes to the college search. So we'll go in the same order that we presented in. So Valerie from Northwestern, if you've got a good piece of advice that you want to give to these juniors who are starting their college search.
Sure, and if you were in my case study room, you've already heard this, so I apologize, but I think it bears repeating. I think the most important thing you can do when you start the college search is to remember that the outcome of this search is not an assessment of your value as a person, of your worth as a student. It's not an indication of all the wonderful things you will accomplish in life. What I hope you have learned from tonight is that every college is really different, but also really wonderful. And they are all looking for different things on their campus. And so you have an abundance of options. Take advantage of that. Think outside the box, be open to considering all different types of schools, because only by doing that breadth of research are you really going to be able to find the types of institutions where you can thrive as a student, sure, but far more importantly as a person. And that's what any admissions staff member is going to want for you. So I think if you can keep those messages at the forefront of your mind as you move forward, it helps as you're navigating the parts of this process that might be a little bit more complex or challenging.
Excellent. Nicole.
Sure. Very well put, Valerie. I think Valerie took a lot of the words out of all of our mouths, but I would just add, be open-minded going into the process and be prepared to be surprised. Let yourself be surprised and take turns that you might not have imagined for yourself at the top of this process.
Lisa?
I would say second everything you all have said so far. And one piece of advice I got from one of my current students, be selfish as you can in finding what really works for you. It might not always line up with what other people have in mind for you, but that's okay. You have to do what you would want to do. It's for very precious years of your life.
Absolutely. Nikki.
So I agree with everything that's been said already. I think the only thing that I would think of to add is that I think it's great that you are all here this evening. You're all already starting your college search process, but don't lose sight of the present moment of your time in high school. In other words, don't be looking so far ahead to college that you're not able to enjoy high school. You're not able to enjoy the current moment. Celebrate all of your high school accomplishments and everything that you've done in high school along the way, and be sure to enjoy the present moment without being so focused on what's to come after high school that you forget that you're really at a great point in your life right now.
Awesome. Mandy, what advice would you give?
Yeah, so for me, I always tell students, like, first of all, let yourself off the hook. There is no wrong decision in this process. And I think that's really important to keep in mind as you move through it and you get those really exciting decisions and those really, heartbreaking ones. There is no wrong decision. You are choosing to further yourself and to further your education and to expand your mind and your heart and your soul. So definitely let yourself off the hook and try to have some fun with it. I know that sounds so daunting, but really, Obviously the application is the hard part, and then after that you get to, you know, enjoy and maybe explore some colleges or go to some virtual tours. And as a first generation college student, also as a reminder that if you don't get to visit the school that you love and are so passionate about, lean on your admissions counselor. I know that those college tours, that's not a possibility for everyone. I think we really learned that through COVID, and moving forward really won't still be an option for everyone. So lean on us admissions counselors. We're here to, you know, be excited for you. And many of us have been in those shoes, have never been able to visit the schools that we got to attend, and it turned out fabulous. So let yourself off the hook, have fun. And if you can't visit, lean on us. Or if you can visit, still lean on us.
And Lauren, what do you have to share?
So my piece of advice for juniors is easier said than done, but it's learn the art of introspection. And what I mean by that is this process can be a lot of fun. It can be overwhelming. It can be stressful and a lot of other things in the middle there. But at the end of the day, you need to work toward making the best decisions for you, while ultimately recognizing that chances are you are a good fit for more than one institution, and more than one institution is a good fit for you. And so whether that be that you sit down and decide that the food needs to be really good in addition to having the programs that you want, or whatever the case might be, weirdly enough, mine was, I needed a college that had shower doors, not just shower curtains. For whatever reason, I decided that was the one question I would ask on a college tour. No idea why back in the day, but pick the things that are important to you and keep those at the center and forefront, whether it be extracurriculars, academics, or little things that are quirky about a school. Let those guide you as you start to make your decisions, because sitting down with yourself and figuring out what's important will not only serve you in this process, but it will continue to serve you as so many opportunities open up before you in your college life. That will again rely on you being able to say what you are interested and passionate about, rather than just joining what is available to you. So learn the art of introspection.
Outstanding. Thank you, ladies, for all of that great advice. I am sure our participants will take that to heart. I do want to remind everyone that as you click out of this session today, there will be a quick 4-question survey that pops up. So if you could take just a moment out of your time and answer that survey for us, that will help us as we prepare options for future students, maybe even yourself. You certainly can sign up for more sessions. We have 2 more sets of sessions this evening, and you can do that at strivescan.com/BACS, which is also where you will find recordings of this session and of all of our sessions. So again, on behalf of everyone participating in our program and our StriveScan, thank you for joining us, and have a good night.